Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Read with Sulekha. So today I'm here to give a book summary. So without wasting any time, I'm going to tell you what is the book about which I'm going to give a book summary. So this is the book, The Great Gatsby, written by Sir F. Scott Fitzgerald. From the day I have started reading this book to the day I have finished this book has attracted my attention, and this has become one of my favorite books. I would definitely like to read more and more books from Sir F. Scott Fitzgerald and also books of America's Jazz Age. So this is a 2021 publication by Penguin Random House, and which consists of 146 pages. So I'm going to summarize this book. Great Gatsby is a novel written by Sir F. Scott Fitzgerald in 1925. Let me first tell you something about the author, Sir Fitzgerald. So Fitzgerald belonged to a well-to-do family. He and his wife used to lead such a life which he himself considered to be unreal. Now this book, The Great Gatsby, is considered to be his masterpiece. Now let's start the book. So the book starts with a beautiful narration by Nick Carraway. Nick Carraway is a migrant of the Great War who has migrated to the West Egg village. There he took a mansion which is just beside Mr. Gatsby's house. One evening he drove to the East Egg village to visit Tom Buchanan, who is his college acquaintance, and his cousin Daisy Buchanan. When he reached there and entered into the house, he found two of the characters who are sitting inside the house, Miss Baker and Daisy Buchanan. Daisy shared something with Nick which Nick found very intriguing. Just then, Miss Baker asked Nick about Mr. Gatsby, but Tom interfered there. Nick got to know that Tom has got some women outside, means Tom is having some extramarital affair outside. Now after all these, Nick departed from that, but Nick found that Daisy was very inquisitive about his life. He reached his house, and after reaching, he saw Mr. Gatsby and tried to talk and approach to him, but he found Mr. Gatsby to be a very reserved person. One day, Tom insisted Nick to visit and meet his mistress, that is Mrs. Myrtle Wilson, is the wife of George B. Wilson, and three of them spent time in Myrtle's sister's house, that is Catherine. Here, Catherine told Nick about her visit to Gatsby's mansion and also about him being a nephew or a cousin to Kaiser Wilhelm. After that, Nick returned back to his house. Nick was invited for a party to Mr. Gatsby's house. From the third chapter, you can have an idea about the wealth of Mr. Gatsby. There at the party, he found Miss Jordan Baker along with three men being introduced as Mr. Mumble. The matter of Mr. Gatsby being a German spy or being in the army came out there. Jordan and Nick at the party, they went out in search of Mr. Gatsby, that where is Mr. Gatsby actually, who has set the party. They sat at the table, they found a man and a little girl sitting at the table, and he discovered that it is only Mr. Gatsby. There were so many rumors about Mr. Gatsby, which Nick would find out later that they were untrue. Now, Mr. Gatsby conveyed to Miss Jordan Baker that he would like to meet Daisy, and Daisy also spoke about it to Nick a little later. In the meantime, Gatsby started to tell Nick about his life living like a Raja. They went to a restaurant in the presence of Mr. Wolfsham. There, Nick met Tom and he introduced him to Mr. Gatsby, but Tom felt embarrassed and went away from him. Now, the arrangement of the meeting of the lovers, the arrangement of the meeting of Daisy with Mr. Gatsby was made, and the meeting took an emotional turn. Jordan told Nick all about Daisy and her past life, as well as her relation with J. Gatsby and other soldiers. Now Gatsby went to Daisy's to have lunch and asked Nick for his company. When Mr. Gatsby went to Daisy's to have lunch, they thought about going on a tour, and they went to New York. But when they went to New York, Tom confronted them and accused Mr. Gatsby and his wife Daisy to have an extramarital affair. In spite of being in an extramarital affair, he was unable to tolerate the disloyalty of his wife, Daisy. There is a heated argument, and Tom sent Daisy with Mr. Gatsby in his car. In the meantime, what happened is that Daisy was driving the car, which met with an accident and killed the mistress, the lover, Myrtle Wilson of Tom. Gatsby, being a great lover, took the blame on himself. Tom told about this to George B. Wilson, who is the husband of Myrtle Wilson, due to which George B. Wilson became so angry and so heated that he took the gun, went to Westlake Village, shot Mr. Gatsby dead, and shot himself fatally also. No one came to Mr. Gatsby's funeral except for a few people. Even after the two lovers were reunited, they were parted. This novel makes you feel that money and riches are not enough to fulfill your own life. Loneliness can only be fulfilled by love, and Mr. Gatsby was lonely in his life. He wanted the love of his life, that is Daisy, but unable to get reunited with his love. This novel makes you feel romance and love very deeply. Once you read this, you cannot put it down. This book is an art. It is an art of classic literature. It reveals an American dream of the jazz age. The description of the glamour of America's society and the attainment of one's love makes this novel extremely and exceptionally skillful. It is a love story, but it is something more than that. It provides you with insights of the collision of love, the glitz and glamour of life of the American jazz age. It gives you an idea of the American society during that period. So when I read this book, I got totally lost in it, and I would definitely recommend you all to please read this book to have an idea of the American jazz age, and also to get acquainted with the American jazz age, to get acquainted with the society of America of that period, to get acquainted with the variety of life which is present inside this novel. If you like my video, do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching and connecting. See you in the next video. Bye bye.